Maupo tayo. Hindi ko po nabasa itong pinapabasa nila sa akin ngayon. Mukha naman tama ho. Pero I think I don't need the teleprompter right now. I just came back from Cagayan and Iligan, Cagayan de Oro. They were gonna turn over the first of the houses that have been built, which will be the permanent, parang permanent houses for those that have to be relocated from the danger sites. No? Um, Medyo sobrang ganado po tayo doon dahil it's just roughly about 40 days from the time that the disaster struck. And you already have the houses already being built. We went to several sites, both in Iligan and in Cagayan de Oro. In Cagayan de Oro, the Jesuit community has generously donated quite a lot of land. No? This will house at least 500, the initial batch is about 500 houses. We are ready and on stream for about 5,000 houses already for the evacuees. In the main constraint is actually the availability of land, and there are some processes that are ongoing. What I'd like to emphasize is government was ready when the disaster struck, but more importantly, in a period of about a month, we are not talking about plans, we are actually constructing houses already. So the target date is June 2012 by the NHA to finish the first batches of these houses, which is about, parang, sorry, don't worry, it's about between 5 to 8,000 for the initial batch. No? So, lot of on top of that, we will also be, I'm sorry, re-report na rin siya, pero siguro yung gobyerno po nyo ay talaga empowered na to be able to start intervening in terms of the conditions emanating in the area. Yung Cagayan River, for instance, has a lot of areas that it is already scouring the banks, no, and is inducing landslides. So the solution is something called a sabo dike, sabo dam. Yung sabo is supposed to be a Japanese word. What it basically does is it collects all the silt that comes from the upstream, yung silt, rocks, trees, various vegetation, etc. So you don't have to dredge the entire river length. You just dredge, well, you clean up the areas where they are in effect like a sieve, no? Which allows just the water to pass through. You will also lessen the velocity of the water. You will lessen the scouring. Then that will make the potentials for landslides less. No? So again, we are. Secretary Singson tells me that we're already in the final stages of the design and actual location of this sabo dike. So even that will probably be accomplished at the most in 2 years' time. No? So you will forestall the possibility of yung rapid velocity, water traveling at a rapid velocity from impacting the communities again. I was very pleased to report that the people there in the relocation sites are not parang downtrodden and despairing. Rather, they were really, I'd like to say almost gung-ho, na they were very optimistic and they seem to be very supportive and look at this as an opportunity, not just to rebuild their lives, but actually to come up with better communities. So, that segues into what I wanted to tell my mother. I should have been here a little earlier, but syempre when I had to talk to our people, marami-rami rin nung na-discuss doon. My mom was a face for people power, and basically, what is people power? People taking their future into their own hands or making their future into their hands and fixing the present. So we will be ravaged, no, by calamities of nature. We are both in the ring of fire and also visited by, confused na nga ako kung 23 or 24 typhoons on average a year. And of course, global climate change is changing everything. But of course, it took us more than 25 years after EDSA. But you really have an empowered citizenry who can actually call on the government and expect something to happen rather than just platitudes. And to all of you here, I think you've all been supportive of all the endeavors of both my parents for such a long time. And I'll be remiss if I don't thank you. In fact, two of my sisters are not present. One is still in Iligan. No? The other one is, our eldest ate is sick. Si Chris is very busy. So my ate Pinky and I will be, yun naman pala eh. So majority naman pala kami nandito. What the economy also is really very bullish. No? You notice the stock market. But more importantly, we are experiencing quite a lot of manufacturing interests coming back to the Philippines. Now, not everything is rosy. No, we're still fixing the problems that were bequeathed to me by my predecessor. No, yung alam mo, to be honest with you, sometimes I'm amazed at the things that were left to me, even by those that came way, way back. No? We had to transfer land to the University of the Philippines. Ngayon, this land was given to the University of the Philippines in 1930. In 1930, both of my parents were not yet around. No, but to fulfill the final act, it took my generation to complete the process. Yun naman siguro sana bureaucratic lapse. But there are others that were really faulty decisions that we will have to correct. No? And we will have to address, and we are addressing very soon. So, bago ako tingnan ni Ate Pinky na masyado mahaba ka na nagsasalita, no? I think all I really want to say is, when I was talking to the communities in both Cagayan and Iligan, I was telling them, you have a government that doesn't just promise and doesn't just want to have a photo opportunity. No? We will come to you, we will seek out your problems from your viewpoint and try to address the problems the way you would want it addressed. We come to terms, and then the next time around, we are actually delivering on what was agreed upon. And that you will see more and more in the coming days in so many different facets. I went to Baguio this weekend, and on the one hand, it was traffic. It took me about 4.5 hours to get from Tarlac to Baguio. But on the other hand, and the main reason is there's so much construction, starting, siyempre, yung SCTEX and NLEX, hindi masyado. Pero right after it, from Tarlac, Pangasinan, La Union, Benguet, and also Baguio City. Baguio City has actually requested us to delay implementation of projects because of Parabenga and PMA homecoming. So, what is impressive is, to me, we have all of the resources to actually embark on these programs na hindi, di ba, 50 meters dito, 100 meters dyan. You're really tackling the Manila North Road or the MacArthur Highway in all its entirety. And of course, we're not biased against anybody. Pati yung Marcos Highway is being completed, no? In reblocking. I was talking to 13 governors who assisted us in Cagayan and Iligan, and they were also saying that they noticed in their own provinces yung rebuilding of our infrastructure and the expansion of the infrastructure. So, the infrastructure supports the investors who are coming. The investors produce the jobs to create a better life for all of our people. So I would like to appeal, a lot of you have been with us for several decades. Baka pwede mag-apila, konti pa. No? And I'd like to be able to, at the end of our term, which will happen in about 4 years and 5 months and a few days, no? I'd like to come back here and say, medyo parang we've really reached the goal that was started out. Siguro in my case, it was most emphatic in 1972, when martial law was proclaimed. So the process of going back to democracy, but in the last phase has to be democracy working for everybody. No? And that is the main thrust of what we're trying to do. It should be all-inclusive. No? In Tagalog, wala maiiwan. And we will provide. We cannot guarantee results for everybody. There will be people who will seize the opportunity. There will be those who will not. But we think we can guarantee that opportunities will be extant for everybody. And the job gets easier if there are a lot more of us taking part in it, no? Rather than leaving it up to everybody, to others to take care of things that we all want to get to. Okay? So, again, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Salamat rin, naabutan ko kayo bago kayo nag-uwian para makapasalamat to. There was an accident in Camp Bagong Diwa this afternoon, which I will have to attend to after here. And again, let me say thank you. Sorry if the speech is a bit disorganized. I forgot to ask Ate Piggy to write my speech last night. But I'm really glad to see all of you, and again, thank you on behalf of our family.